So the Justice League Snyder Cut is finally happening.
Oh no. Hello and welcome back to the Daily Weekly Podcast.
We'll be sharing our thoughts on a variety of movies and TV shows.
And of course, we'll be discussing the latest entertainment news. And I'm Jake.
And I'm Bradley.
So before we get started, as usual, we just want to thank everyone for streaming the podcast. You know, as per the last few weeks, the feedback's been great.
Yeah, it really has. So a big thanks to you guys out there. You know, we've been making some subtle changes each week, especially with this week. So, yeah, we're going to make it the best we can.
Yeah, definitely. And we've just gone a little bit here. There's actually some big changes coming to the channel rather soon, so look forward to them. But as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed it and you want to see more.
And always check out the links in the description if you want to stream elsewhere, if you're listening on YouTube or our social medias. And if you want to keep the conversation going, then use our hashtag Daily Weekly Podcast.
Yeah, so as usual, we've got a good few topics here to talk about. So something that has been begged for by DC fanatics and I don't know, people who thought 2017's Justice League was good. The Snyder Cut is finally happening.
Hurrah! Now, I'm actually looking forward to this.
I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, but I'm kind of interested. You know, it's like a car crash, you know. It's terrible, and probably
Yeah.
will be terrible, but you can't really look away and you can't ignore it because it has, you know, no one ever thought we'd get this.
No, I mean, I thought, I didn't think it was going to happen. And given that it's going to cost 20 to 30 million to complete, how much of it does exist?
See, that's the thing, is that, like, a lot of people have always said that, oh, there's not actually much of the Snyder Cut, it's just little bits here and there. So, realistically, if it's, like 30 million to complete, then that's pretty mad. Like, that's a substantial amount of money, obviously. So, apparently it's releasing on HBO Max in 2021, and either as a 4-hour film or a 6-part TV miniseries. What would you prefer out of those two?
I think, a 6-part miniseries would be interesting to see how it would work,
Yeah.
but I would prefer a 4-hour film, as long as that
As would
sounds.
We've both seen Justice League, and I don't know how they cut that into a miniseries. Like, I don't know how they'd, even with the added content, I don't know how they'd kind of pretty much rework the entire movie into a miniseries, honestly.
Yeah, because you'd have to have a point where each episode would have its own ending and then be picked up again. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not sure how that would work.
No, as long as it is, I'd rather a 4-hour movie, and I'd rather just kind of, you know, dedicate a few hours to just sit down and watch it and not kind of have a mini-series. And in a way, it kind of tricks your brain into sort of, as a movie, you kind of have to sit down and watch it through, rather than with a mini-series, I'll watch, you know, episode 5 later and not really bother for now. So, yeah, I don't know.
And one thing I've noticed, because I was going to watch the 2017 version on Netflix, but I didn't get around to it, obviously.
Right.
But it is actually trending in the UK. It was number 4, and it wasn't.
Right.
So the interest is definitely gaining here, and I noticed on Google Trends that Snyder Cut, Justice League, you know, the trend is going up quite significantly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when this was kind of first announced, you know, Twitter was going haywire and everywhere was hashtag Snyder Cut, and obviously, people being people, now they're asking for the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and
Yeah.
I don't need to see more Suicide Squad. I can tolerate more Justice League, but Suicide Squad, absolutely not.
Well, if the Suicide Squad would be any better, I mean, the director saying is his cut is much better, but anything, if it's an improvement over what we got, I'd take it, but I'd rather have Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see what was intended for Justice League, especially considering that, supposedly we're meant to be getting Darkseid, Martian Manhunter, and the Atom, and potentially more
Yeah.
Green Lantern. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. As long as we don't get more of bloody Ben Affleck saying things like "I don't not like you" and yeah, just very not Batman lines, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ben Affleck as Batman, and I'd like to see
Yeah, me
more.
too.
But
Yeah,
I don't know. In Justice League, compared to Batman v Superman, he was very different.
I agree. I feel like with Justice League, it was too quick of a turnaround for his relationship with Clark Kent. It was like in Batman v Superman, oh, he's a danger to the human race, and obviously I know they teamed up to fight Doomsday. I mean, spoiler alert, obviously. But like literally like a year later, he was like, oh, he was a beacon to mankind. Oh, my favorite human ever. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it's just too quick of a kind of character shift.
I think so. And it's just something about it felt off, throughout that whole film. So maybe in the Snyder Cut, we see more. Maybe there's more kind of background to it.
I mean, I hope so because I don't know. I don't know how different it's really going to be because all I can really think of that might be different is that kind of flashback sequence where you see, everyone fighting Darkseid's army. I nearly said Thanos then.
Oops.
And yeah, I don't know if it'll be much more than that, honestly. Like, they can't just suddenly have, oh, Green Lantern was here the whole time. We just edited him out of, all the fight scenes and such. Like, you can't just completely redo it, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, with that big budget, they must have something planned. To me, it seems like they are gonna. I don't know about reshoot stuff, but they're definitely gonna add a lot of things in, with CGI and
Yeah.
editing and cut scenes.
Mm, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, as much I am a fan of, like, as you said, like Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman and such, like, I never really cared to see this film again. I've literally watched it through once, and that was when we went to the cinema in that was like November time, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to see that. It was a freezing cold night, and yeah.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I haven't really watched it through since, and it isn't a movie I ever kind of have that want to see again. Like, I have a thing where if I don't really enjoy a movie, occasionally I'll get like the inkling just to go watch it, just see if it is. I've never had that with Justice League.
Yeah. Like I watched it once, probably back in like summer 2018 or something. So it was after it came
Yeah.
the second time. So that was still nearly 2 years ago that I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah. Christ.
I was going to watch it again
Yeah.
recently because of all the hype, but thinking back on it, I was just disappointed. It wasn't what I thought it would be.
Yeah, and like, for anyone listening, we're not trying to like hate on the DCEU. Like, we actually love Batman v Superman. Honestly,
Yeah, really did.
Probably my top 15 comic book movies. I don't want to say top 10 because I'm not sure it's up there, but
Yeah,
I
agree.
enjoy it, especially the director's cut, obviously.
Yeah, even more so.
See, even then, I never thought like the director's cut was too drastically different from the theatrical. Like, so that's why I'm a bit skeptical about this.
Yeah, it was
how much
more
can they change?
Extended scenes. So with this, I think they're going to change a lot of the final act, to be honest, because I think what I've heard is there were some big changes made to that.
I mean, I hope so, and I hope that they don't have that bloody like red filter or yellow filter, whatever it was, over everyone, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently that wasn't Zack Snyder's original idea. That was Whedon's idea, but
yeah. I don't know, but I mean, I think no matter what, people will hold it in kind of high esteem of, oh, of course it's better than the 2017 version. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't know. I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. I'll probably watch it the day it comes out. But I don't know how different it can be that it could drastically change my opinion of the film.
Yeah, I mean, see, before we started recording, I was going into this with this expectation that it's going to be a completely different film purely because of
Yeah,
this big budget it's getting, and
yeah,
it's double the runtime. So I thought, oh, there must be something new. But now I'm thinking,
yeah.
oh, maybe it is just going to be slightly longer scenes, not much new stuff.
That's what I feel like. I mean, obviously they are. They must be somewhat confident in it if they're throwing 30 million into it. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's the film, it has been made. It's already out there, and sure, Zack Snyder might have a lot of stuff shot that is completely different, and a lot of scenes for different characters, and different kind of dialogue and such. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's still the same movie. Like, I think people overestimate. Well, maybe because I don't really know the ins and outs behind it, but I think a lot of people overestimate how much Whedon changed of the original movie.
Yeah, that's the thing,
So
and I feel like he's gotten some maybe unfair hate because of it.
yeah, I mean, what did Josh Whedon do? He obviously did the first Avengers. Did he do Age of Ultron?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so he does have these, I mean, the jury's still out for Age of Ultron. I think it's a great movie, but,
So do
you
I.
know, so he has got these good films kind of behind his belt, and, he is a good director, but, this was originally Zack Snyder's baby, it was his movie, but I can't remember. Why was he kicked off of Justice League? I can't remember.
I don't think he was kicked off per se. There was some family
Right.
incidents that caused him to step
Oh,
down.
yeah. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
But
Apologies, Zack Snyder.
Yes,
Because
of
you obviously
course.
listen to the Daily Weekly podcast. Yeah. Um,
see, one thing I can't
but
remember is who brought Joss Whedon in. Was it Zach's recommendation or did the studio do it?
I think it must have been the studio because I don't think Zack would have. I can't remember exactly because I could have sworn Whedon was kind of eyed for another DC movie,
Yeah.
but then they kind of just sort of pushed him along onto Justice League after Snyder had to leave.
Mm.
But yeah, like I say, I'll definitely watch it, and I definitely will remain somewhat optimistic because if they can make it a good movie, then that will be my headcanon.
Yeah, it will be.
So, I mean, I guess if they ever do it to Suicide Squad, then please just, I don't know, remake the whole movie because it's god awful.
So yeah, so I hope James Gunn's Suicide Squad is going to be a bit better.
Yeah, no, not a huge fan of the original Suicide Squad.
No,
Um,
and it was
I don't really know what I don't know, like obviously they are making the new Suicide Squad movie, but why is it even in the same universe as the original apart from Margot Robbie? Like,
I think there are some. I think maybe one or two of the original cast in this one. I think it is, but
yeah.
I'm not really sure what DC are doing with their movies. Are they in the same universe? Is it a multiverse? What?
Yeah, I mean, isn't Jai Courtney coming back as Captain Boomerang?
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, I mean, oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously that was one of the first appearances of Ezra Miller's Flash in the was it in Suicide Squad or was that in Batman v Superman? The scene where he takes down Captain Boomerang.
Suicide Squad, I think. No.
Oh yeah, it was in the flashback. That was how he got in prison. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really don't like the title for the new one because I mean you're adding just a word "the" on the front. Like
it's too similar.
it really is. I mean, apparently if that is the logo, if anyone's watching on YouTube, I'll try to remember to put on the screen. But I like the logo. It looks like a comic logo. So
Yeah, maybe the film will be a bit more comic booky.
from the set pictures, it does look like that. Like, they all look like they have proper kind of supervillain costumes.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I have a
yeah.
bit more faith in James Gunn with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope it's better because, I mean, I've said to you many times, Suicide Squad is one of my, like, least favourite movies of all time.
Yeah, I
And
never understood the hype about it. It's like
no.
everyone, hyped up this romance between Harley Quinn and the Joker, and that wasn't even a
Oh,
big part of the film.
yeah, and I've always been under the impression of, like, well, under kind of the idea that, they've never had that kind of loving romance. Like, I mean, he throws her out of a window, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And, I mean, apparently that's... I haven't seen Birds of Prey, but apparently that's kind of what leads into it. And that's why she kind of leaves the Joker.
I think I've heard that. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie either, but that's what I've heard. In fact, I almost forgot that movie was out.
So did I.
Oh,
I've heard it's pretty good.
That's another movie in this universe that... Oh, yeah.
I just feel like Birds of Prey just kind of... It just kind of slipped in under the radar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do need to watch it at some point because...
I mean...
I don't know.
Come to think of it, actually, I think that Birds of Prey was one of the quickest turnarounds they've got for their movies. Because if you think...
I think so.
They've taken a long time to get their movies out. Like, I remember Batman vs Superman being announced in, like, 2013. Then they finished filming in, like, 2014. It wasn't released till 2016. Like...
Oh, God. I remember... Do you remember that Comic-Con? Like, everyone posted online the kind of reveal of... Oh, look, it's the Superman logo. Oh, look, it's the Batman logo. And everyone just went mad. Yeah.
And it's like the same with Wonder Woman 2. They finished filming, like, I think well over a year ago now.
Oh,
and
I always forget that movie's happening.
Yeah.
The only reminder I have of that is the fucking Lego set pictures that are coming out of it.
Yeah. So that's coming out in August, but...
Is it though?
Well, apparently, that's what they want.
Yeah, I don't know. I just...
And then it's like the wait for Aquaman 2. It's like years away. When's the Flash coming out? What?
I was gonna say, remember when they were making a Flash movie? Where did that go? We would have had that by now. Wasn't we supposed to have that in like 2019?
Yeah, and if Ben Affleck stayed as Batman, we would have had his movie, I think, pretty soon.
And also, I mean, I'm not convinced they're going to be bringing Ezra Miller back after he went around slapping women. So
yeah, he's surrounded by some controversy at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, he cameoed in Crisis on Infinite Earths, so. And I remember I switched on just as they revealed Ezra Miller. I was like, sorry, what? Why is Justice League on? And then they showed Grant Gustin as Flash. I was like, oh damn. But
yeah, I thought the fact that he was there, it's the suit as well. It wasn't just. So there you go. It's all part of the one big multiverse they have going on.
Yeah, but I mean, they like kind of mention in Crisis that Ezra Miller's Flash, he doesn't know what the multiverse is. He doesn't know that there's other Flashes and stuff. Oh. But then again, apparently, a bit of other news. I don't know if we've got that later on in the podcast, but apparently the Justice Society of America is supposed to be appearing in the Black Adam movie.
I didn't know about that, actually.
Yeah. I guess kind of related to that. Also, Stargirl has been premiering on DC Universe and the CW. I've watched the first 2 episodes. It's really good. It really is. And
see, I thought it was good from the trailer, and there's something about it when it was announced. I thought, oh, this is going to be nice. This will be good.
See, I like maybe I'm just very pessimistic, but I wasn't excited for it at all. But they've got this kind of established universe that there have been superheroes and they've kind of quit now, or they kind of disbanded. And it's a really like cool universe that they've kind of, there is a history of superheroes and things like that, and they name drop a lot of heroes. Yep.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool. How there is this kind of background of them.
Yeah. Um. See, I don't know how they're going to include the Justice Society in Black Adam, because Black Adam's meant to be in the same universe as Shazam, right? Shazam's
Yeah,
meant to be in the same universe as the Justice League, but the
yeah,
Justice League is meant to be its own kind of thing, and there haven't really been superheroes before this, right? So
yeah,
I don't really get how they're going to include it unless it's a multiverse thing, or
yeah. I mean, as we've noted already, it's a bit of a
Mhm.
messy universe.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess they'll figure it out. I mean, Superman's body appeared at the end of Shazam, so
It did, yeah. So he's still around.
oh, in that beautiful suit that we'll never see again. Oh,
Yeah,
ah. But yeah. Anyway, back to Justice League. So apparently, we're going to be getting a lot of characters, as you mentioned. Martian Manhunter for one, who
hmm
so far, I believe his only live action appearance has been in Supergirl on the CW.
yeah. I think he has only been in Supergirl.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm more than happy to see him. I don't know how they'll include him. Maybe in a flashback, with the Dark Side and a Steppenwolf flashback. But yeah, I'm really looking forward. Well, I wouldn't say I'm really looking forward to it. I'm intrigued to see what they do. So yeah, I mean, I can't remember who it was, but apparently the actor who was playing Darkseid was tweeting about it
Oh,
on Twitter. That's where you tweet, yeah.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, I know a lot of people wanted to see Darkseid as the main villain, but you can't really do the big main villain in the first movie, in my opinion.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure for the original plans, they wanted to do a trilogy and have it as this
Yeah.
big story. And I don't know if you've read some of the ideas they had. And I have. I
Ha-
thought they were pretty good.
I don't think I have. Do enlighten me.
It was probably about 2 years ago since I last read on it.
Okay,
But
brilliant.
but yeah, they planned to have like kind of this big war ending with
Yeah.
Batman dying, but it would have been
Right.
kind of in Justice League Part 2, they would have gone to Darkseid's planet to fight him there, and then kind
Right.
of
Okay.
kind of lose, and then they retreat back to Earth or something. And then I think in Part 3, Darkseid comes to Earth, and then it's kind of that apocalypse style of Earth that we've
Oh,
seen.
so it's Avengers Endgame then.
Kind
That's
of.
literally the story for Avengers Endgame.
Well, yeah, I guess it is actually, and then it ends with Batman, Batman saving the day and dying.
the billionaire hero everyone knows and loves. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, I'll try and find it if I can find the article and share it with you. But it was a couple of years ago, but it did seem good. So, yeah,
I mean, yeah, I'll have to have a look. See.
yeah,
So, I mean, we've kind of touched on this already, but us enjoying the 2017 version. I mean, did we?
I think maybe on the day I did.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's that kind of.
It's like I went in with high hopes, and it wasn't that good by the end, but I still enjoyed it on the day.
I think that's the thing. You have that kind of immediate bliss after going to the cinema of you just kind of, oh, you love it no matter what it is. I mean, I never had that with Suicide Squad, but
No,
yeah, I mean,
Do you-
maybe it will be better. Maybe it'll be incredibly better. What if this just changes our view on DCEU in general? Like,
yeah. Could it restore faith in their universe? I mean, if it goes well, I think it would.
which universe, though? Because they have about 12.
But yeah,
Like,
will it restore?
oh, damn.
Will it restore faith across the multiverse? There you go.
Maybe? I don't know. Because you can't blame an entire kind of like universe's fault on one movie. Like, believe me, this universe has more faults than just Justice League, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we touched on it already, but in my opinion, Suicide Squad needs fixing a lot more than Justice League does.
yeah,
So,
it does.
but I mean, like I say, I'll personally be watching it when it comes out just to see if it's any different. But I don't know how much I will enjoy it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I suppose it all rests on a big maybe. You know, we have to wait and see. I'm sure when it comes out, we'll be talking about it again if we're still going.
Oh, yeah.
But
I plan to still be going next year. Yeah.
yeah,
So
we have no plans of quitting, folks.
yeah. So you better get used to us. I mean, if you're not 7 weeks in, then I mean, you know, who knows? But yeah. Is there anything else you want to add about Justice League?
I think that's pretty much it, really.
Actually, something I do want to mention. What is your opinion about it being on HBO rather than DC Universe?
Well, I was a bit surprised.
Yeah.
Because, I just didn't see that coming. I thought, with they want DC Universe to be this big thing, why not put it there?
And yet it still hasn't even been kind of considered for release in the UK yet, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'd say maybe that was a factor, but then why not just release it in the UK? I mean, we haven't got HBO Max either, as far as I'm aware.
No, exactly.
So, how are we going to get it? That's a good thing.
If anything, they're losing money because the amount of people that will just pirate it online rather than, either pay for HBO Max or pay for DC Universe. Like, surely they're not going to, well, they might break even, but I don't think they're going to make much profit off of the 30 million they're putting back into it.
No. But yeah, looking on the trends and even just on Netflix, that Justice League is trending again. So there is definitely interest here in the UK. So I don't know, how are we going to get it, actually?
But I mean, was it ever like that before this whole Snyder Cut thing? Were people interested in this movie before?
Maybe not.
No.
No.
But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know because, we weren't the biggest fans of the original release, but this might fix it. It very well could.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is basically what happens when you bully a director to release something on Twitter long enough, so...
Yeah, that's another thing. It's felt a bit pressured, and now it's like, I have to come up with... I mean, he came out and said it.
Yeah.
He could have just ignored it, so...
That's the thing, is that, obviously there's this whole kind of, thing on Twitter. If you don't like a character and something, that apparently, best to just attack the actor for that.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
We saw this happen with, I can't remember the actress's name, but essentially she played a character in Star Wars The Last Jedi, who pretty much no one really liked that much, but then the actress was just bullied for it, and it just isn't fair at all. And
no, they're just playing a part at the end of the day.
Exactly, they're not the ones who created these characters. They're not the ones who were writing the scripts. Yeah, they might, have little bits of input if they don't feel it is kind of comfortable for them to do or whatever, but they don't have this kind of, huge part to play apart from, playing the role of the character that they're assigned. So it's not their fault at all.
That's their job. They go there to play the part, go home.
So that was our discussion on Zack Snyder's Justice League coming in 2021. What do you think? What are you excited for? What do you think could be improved upon on the original? And I think that wraps up Justice League quite nicely.
Yeah, it does. I agree. Now, this next little part, we're just going to take a little break, just to break it up a little bit. And if you haven't already, like the video if you're enjoying it, comment any questions, who's your favourite character from Justice League? Why not? And if you're liking it even more, hit that subscribe button and the little bell and share it with your friends.
And, obviously we've been putting polls in the channel, and apparently YouTube are removing video polls, but we're still going to continue posting them on our Instagram at DailyWeeklyCast. All of our links are down in the description as always, so... Yeah.
And on to the next part is the general discussion. Attention, soldier.
Yeah, of course. Salute. So, we mentioned Suicide Squad before, but apparently, he does want his cut to be finished and released, and says it's better and would be easy to finish. And from what I've heard, this is mainly kind of just more Joker scenes, and I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Leto's Joker.
No, again, it comes down to an actor just playing a part, but that was a part I didn't like.
No, I mean, everyone was, I don't know, from the get-go, it was kind of a mixed reaction, because we had that Comic-Con trailer with that song, I Started a Joke, and there was that kind of reveal at the end, and I remember thinking, like, oh, he actually looks like a pretty good Joker, like, I don't mind that laugh, and then in the movie, it was just him going,
That's a pretty good impression.
Thank you. I do try. But yeah. And apparently there's a fight scene between the Joker and the Suicide Squad. And I know the Joker has all his goonies and whatever, but you know, I don't really see how that's a fair fight. I mean, you've literally got a man that can create a fire giant or something, and yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty unmatched, but yeah.
And you have a crocodile man, so obviously,
Oh yeah, Crocodile Man will just eat him up, gobble gobble gobble.
He's not a turkey.
I don't.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the Joker has Turkey Man. He's.
Oh, can you imagine? That'd be great.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have any interest in seeing this. At least with Justice League, I have a bit of a kind of, oh, this could be alright. But like with Suicide Squad, would it ever be improved upon? I mean, can you improve it?
Yeah, and like to me, the way it comes across is, oh yeah, it's better and it'll be easy to finish. It sounds, I don't know. It's like have they been talking about this before? I haven't heard of it.
No.
They're just jumping on this bandwagon of getting a director's cut, and it's kind of, I don't know if I'd say selfish, but it's very much, oh yeah, mine's better.
Yeah.
Put this out.
But I mean, of course, they're biased towards their own pieces of work, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess this is a very DC themed podcast this week.
It really is. That's
yeah,
pretty much all we're talking about.
yeah. And we're pretty much more Marvel fans than DC, so this is a bit of a change of pace and a interesting one for us. So, were you a fan of Henry Cavill as Superman?
I mean, I'll say yes. Like, I'm not. I wouldn't say like, oh my god. If there's a new Superman movie, I wouldn't rush to see it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way when I was looking at Man of Steel. I didn't feel like, oh wow, he's great Superman. But then again, in Batman v Superman, I enjoyed his performance.
Well, luckily for you, in that case, he's in talks to return as Superman, but not for a Man of Steel sequel.
So I've heard.
Yeah. I don't have any problems with his Superman, but again, like you, I never walked out thinking his performance, that was definitive Superman. Honestly, I know I seem negative every week. I've realised this while editing, but I don't like Superman. I think he's like the most overrated superhero. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many more interesting superheroes with interesting powers, and
yeah, they really are.
And I no doubt someone will come for me after this, but honestly, I think it was James Gunn who made it. Was it James Gunn who made Brightburn?
I don't know if I'm honest.
Well, essentially, it was a kind of horror movie spin on Superman, and I honestly preferred it to Man of Steel.
Oh, okay.
Because they kind of twist it in a way so that instead of him being sent to Earth for peace and hope, he's basically sent there to just take over Earth and destroy it as a kid. But they do they basically mirror Superman like perfectly. So he crashes on a farm. He's kind of adopted by a loving family and such. But
yeah,
there's some things that kind of happen, and he kind of takes a bit of a darker path. And the ship that he crashes in, because essentially, I'm not honestly too familiar with Superman's story, but I don't think Martha and and Jonathan
yeah.
Kent. I don't think they... Is it Jonathan Kent? Is adopted dad?
Oh,
Or am I thinking of
I'm
his...
gonna say
Or am
yeah.
I thinking of his son,
I,
Jonathan Kent? Oh no, Mr. and Mrs. Kent. They don't lie to him about his superhero origin, do they? They kind of... Well, not his superhero. It's
yeah.
alien origin. Whereas in Brightburn, yeah, they really hide it from him. But then his kind of... The ship that he crashes in, it kind of starts talking to him and telling him to take the world and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
Right,
like,
I
yeah,
got
he
you.
gets really evil. And it's a gory film. It's really like... It's not for kids. Like... If you think, oh, it's just kind of an evil Superman, no, don't watch it if you're under the age of, honestly, I'd say 18, because it is some dark stuff.
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard of this. I'm actually gonna have to check
It
this out.
didn't get great reviews, but I quite liked it. I thought it was a good kind of horror twist on Superman and what would happen if, you know, he wasn't sent here for good and he was here to actually just take over the Earth. So.
Oh, that is wow. Okay. Yeah.
And he's basically got like identical powers to Superman. He can fly. He has laser eyes, and I don't know if he has the iconic frost breath, which is one of Superman's weirdest powers, in my opinion. But
He's got quite a mix, hasn't he?
yeah, I mean,
They don't really make they don't match up very well.
no, I admit I've never been a huge fan of the name the Man of Steel for Superman, to be honest, either.
No.
And I don't like how in Supergirl they call her the Girl of Steel. It's like, oh, that's you know, unique.
Yeah, yeah. Or just even calling her Supergirl, it's like, oh, it's the other guy.
I mean, they do have like identical costumes, so. But
Yeah.
we spoke. I think it was last week about the Superman and Lois show that's coming up with Tyler Hebler-Klin as Superman.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the quote-unquote girl who plays Lois in that. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't found out since either. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm mega interested in seeing Henry Cavill return. I think they just need to kind of put that cast to one side for now. Obviously, we're getting Robert Pattinson's Batman. Have we spoken about this in a podcast before?
I don't think we have actually.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's happening. So, and apparently he isn't getting in shape for that. He's not working out for it at all, according to some sources.
Well, I suppose unless he's doing a topless scene, does he need to? With like a padded suit and everything, you could just be yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, Bruce Wayne, he's a pretty big guy. I mean, even if he's just wearing like a t-shirt around like Wayne Manor or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I'm still a bit on the fence about that casting. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest.
No, and especially when I know what it was going to be originally. Again, I can't help but think of that film that we never get to see.
You can't help but dream about what could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ben Affleck Batman, I would have loved more of that.
Yeah. Apparently, though, they are throwing a lot of villains into, or at least teasing them into Robert Pattinson's quote-unquote the Batman. Right, that's another thing, right?
Yeah.
Does it bother you when people call him the Batman rather than just Batman?
I think it depends on the context.
Because there's something about I've never really liked. It just doesn't sound right. Just calling him the Batman, like that's his kind of name. You don't say the Bradley. Although,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just a bit.
I think it's a good movie title, but calling like, say if I was walking down the road and look, there's the Batman.
Yeah, there's the Batman.
Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's just something that's kind of. It's never sounded right to me for some reason. Like, you never hear anyone saying, "Oh look, it's the Iron Man," or "Oh look, it's the Spider-Man." So
yeah.
I don't know why. This just made me thought of that. In Homecoming, just that guy on the street who's like, "Do a flip." Spider-Man.
It's the Spider-Man.
Uh,
Oh
he's the
god.
true hero. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
Mysterio in disguise all along. He was.
dun dun dun.
Oh,
We figured it out.
wow, incredible.
hmm Moving on from Batman to Batwoman, more on that story.
Yeah.
In a recent Instagram post, I'm not sure if you've seen it. Ruby Rose
Yeah.
has openly thanked all the cast and crew involved on the show,
Mhm.
but she still hasn't said much as to why she left. So there's a lot of speculation.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
It's
the
like,
post. I didn't see it on Instagram, but I saw someone put it on Twitter, I think. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. There's a lot of people speculating a breakup between her and the studio, but
maybe. I mean, we kind of touched on it. It was either last week or the week before. It was last week, cause I remember having to pixelate her face in a thumbnail. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
yeah. From what I've heard, still I haven't heard anything more than apparently it was just kind of the scheduling that wasn't really working out. But
yeah. So I don't think we're ever gonna find it out, to be honest.
no, I think they'll kind of just keep it under wraps, or it'll just be one of those things that in 2 or 3 years' time, when we're on season 4, Batwoman with I don't know some other actress that's unknown to all of us playing her, then we'll get kind of
Yeah,
a reason. But see, I don't know if you've seen Sense8 on Netflix, right?
I have not.
Well, essentially, one of the main characters in it, they recast. I think it was after season 1, and then
Oh, okay.
like the actor looks pretty different, and like, but what I really didn't hate about it, I'd rather it just go unacknowledged in the show, right? But
Yeah.
they went out of their way to include a line of, "Oh, you're looking pretty different yourself these days." It's like, oh, you don't need to do that. It's just rubbing it in our faces a bit.
Yeah, when movies and shows, kind of openly address a recast, it always comes across a bit awkward.
It just feels too kind of fourth wall breaking and sort of like, haha, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Look, he's a
Yeah.
different actor now. But I just hope they just kind of continue Batwoman as it's going and don't sort of, heavily kind of lean on the fact that, oh yeah, look, she's been recast.
But I mean, it's not even like a side character.
No.
This is the main
Yeah.
role,
Yeah.
so I think it's going to be a bit difficult, especially if new audiences join season 2 then want to watch season 1. They're like, "Who's this?
Yeah.
Is it the same show?"
I tell you what, I do feel sorry for the show because it's had a rough time of it for the first season. I mean, the pandemic meaning that it's had to be cut down by a few episodes. Now your main actress is leaving. I mean, like, what's next?
Yeah,
So,
and it's like they had to jump up their episodes in the
Yeah.
first place,
yeah.
and then cut down again, and now, maybe that's why. It's just so fed up with it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So, speaking about Instagram, we spoke about this before. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has upped his intensity for training ahead of filming Black Adam. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that man needs to train much more.
No, he's already, he's great. He's in a great shape already. He's fine for the role, but he's really passionate about this project.
Yeah, I feel bad for him though because he was cast as Black Adam back in like 2012, and
Yeah,
there's been nothing about it since. And it's just kind of, it's been on the back burner for so long that if I was him, I'd be bloody annoyed at DC for kind of making him wait this long to be able to play the role. But apparently, it's finally happening.
I think we're definitely getting closer. This is the closest we've ever been,
Yeah.
and in that time since being cast like nearly 10 years ago to now, he's had a lot of big roles in other franchises. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's, in a way, I think he's, if I was him, I'd think, oh, that's nice because I know, hopefully I'll get to play Black Adam one day. But I've been busy with these other big projects, and he's really one of the kind of most recognizable actors now.
Yeah, he really is. Do you think we'll ever see him go up against Zachary Levi's Shazam?
I'm gonna, I say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very outmatched, but I can just see it. Why? Again, they'll do that kind of big crossover, Shazam versus Black Adam kind of thing, and
Yeah. But
I don't know. I wouldn't like to pick a fight against The Rock, even if I had powers.
God no. Um, I can't remember what the last thing I've seen him in is. Honestly, I think it might have been like that newer Baywatch movie, and even that was years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an alright movie, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, actually, something about that movie. Popular UK YouTuber KSI, his one of his songs was actually featured in that movie, and
Oh, really?
and at the time he wasn't making a lot of music.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The scene where him and Zac Efron are having that kind of like fitness off, where they're carrying fridges and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's in that. But I guess.
Oh, okay.
I guess a bit of a shout out to KSI as well. He dropped his new album this week, and it's pretty good. But yeah. So
Yeah.
Black Adam. Apparently, it's happening.
And speaking of shout outs, this is one I thought I'd give to you because
Aw.
I know outside of this podcast business, you have a little hobby of your own, which is going very well.
It is.
So
I'm
your
really
Twitch streaming. Take it away,
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, I stream on Twitch.
Give yourself a little self-promotion.
Yeah, I've been pretty much streaming every day. We are playing a variety of games, and I'm gonna be playing some kind of classic GTA soon, like San Andreas and Vice City and such. And,
Oh, cool.
And yes, it's a lot of fun. I'm very close to 100 followers, so if you're interested, follow me on Twitch at Mintomakes. So
yeah.
there we go. Brilliant. That's my
there you go. Have that.
yeah. Cheers. That's that's made this podcast for me. Yeah.
You're welcome. Maybe we'll do it next week, and
Yeah. Sure.
we'll keep it going. I'll give you a little shout out, a little mention there.
Yeah. I mean, the link's always down in the description anyway if anyone's interested. So
It is. So make sure you check him out.
So, kind of, I was about to say going off that, but it's not really related to that in the slightest. Our weekly media recommendations. Now, I know on our little plan here it says me going first, but I'm going to let you go first while I desperately try to think of something that I'm enjoying. So,
All right. Well, the other day I watched a documentary about the Titanic, and it involved James Cameron and like some of the crew from the film
right.
kind of revisit it 20 years later.
So, is it a documentary on the film or the actual event?
It's a bit of both. It's basically him looking at how accurate his film was at the time, and then now with like new research and discoveries to compare it to the real event.
Okay.
And they found out they were pretty close on some things, and some they were, not so close on.
Right.
But I thought it was really interesting. It's a National Geographic documentary on Disney Plus.
I was going to say, I forgot. Yeah, Disney Plus own National Geographic now, so...
Yeah, they do. It was made back in 2017. It's about 45 minutes long. It was a real interesting watch, actually, and I didn't... I was just scrolling through, and it kind of popped up, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I gave it a watch, and one of the nice things that he actually met with, the living descendants of passengers who survived.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so he kind of got with them to see what they thought about the film, and found out more about some of the survivors, and it was really interesting.
Oh, cool! I do love a good documentary, me. So
yeah, so if you're you don't have to be a fan of the film, but if you're just interested in kind of that piece of major world history, then definitely check it out.
Yeah. Just before we go on to mine, because it is kind of related, your weekly Star Wars check-in.
I knew you were going to ask me about this week.
Yeah, every week I promised that I would. How's it going, Star Wars wise?
I've had a bit of a week off, to be honest.
Okay, right.
So there is no new progress.
Okay.
I am currently still like 2 episodes into the Clone Wars. That's about as far as I got.
Yeah.
But next week I hope to give you a bigger update than that.
Yeah. So the reason I asked is because, actually quite similarly to yours, I've been watching a documentary series that's been exclusively made for Disney Plus, and I think it's just called Disney Plus Gallery, and they're doing kind of a kind of docu-series on The Mandalorian, and they've kind of had sort of all the directors, because obviously they had like 8 different directors for the show and
Yeah.
all of that, and essentially they go through like each director, what they did for their episodes and such, and I think there's about 3 or 4 episodes now. I'm not fully caught up, but one of the reason why I wanted to mention this was because of something that Dave Filoni, who he worked on The Mandalorian, and he's obviously been instrumental in the creation of the Clone Wars TV series.
Yeah, he really has.
And he sort of changed the prequels for me now.
Oh, okay.
Because of something he mentioned. And so he kind of, in episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, they have their fight, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of goes on to say that so essentially, obviously Anakin, he never had a father figure because, he never had a father because he was just suddenly birthed.
Yeah.
And essentially what he kind of goes on to say, I'm paraphrasing here, so it doesn't sound as deep or as amazing as what I'm making out to be. But essentially he says that if Qui-Gon Jinn had won that fight, then Anakin would have had a father figure, right? Who would have, Qui-Gon Jinn, he disobeys the council quite a lot, quite like Anakin goes on to do. But he kind of just explains how, in episode 1, Obi-Wan says, "Why do I feel like we've picked up another useless life form?" Which is obviously referring to Jar Jar Binks, the infamous character.
God.
But yeah, he kind of, obviously Qui-Gon Jinn died, so Anakin doesn't have this father figure, but he has Obi-Wan, who becomes kind of a brotherly figure. But
yeah,
if he had both of them in his life, would he have kind of gone on to, become Darth Vader and cause all this pain and dismay across the galaxy? And like, it's just the way he words it and the way he talks about it. It honestly, it just blew my mind how kind of deep he gets into it, and yeah, it's really great. But,
that is definitely an interesting take on the whole perspective. Kind of what if this happened instead?
When are we getting a Star Wars What If series? That's what I want to know.
That would be a good idea. There we go. Disney Plus. Hello.
Yeah. And like, I guess a bit of a spoiler for you for the Clone Wars is that so I don't know if you know about this, and I do apologize for spoiling this, but
okay.
Essentially, eventually, Ahsoka, she leaves the Jedi Order, and it's kind of like she gets framed for like a murder and such, and
okay.
Essentially, like, there's a lot of kind of discussions online at the moment about what if she hadn't have left. Would Anakin have had that kind of like crutch to the good side where he wouldn't have turned? And it's just all these little things that could have prevented the downfall of Anakin. And we need a What If series. Do it in the same kind of, I guess, animated style as Marvel's one. You could even do it in the Clone Wars style. Sure, why not?
There you go. Yeah, Star Wars What If. That would be a good idea.
No, I'd love it. So that pretty much rounds up our standard attention general discussion points. So,
yes,
as always,
at ease, soldier.
Thank you. So, our favourite portion of the podcast, as per usual, the not yet titled news.
Do. Oh God.
So, this is a story that we kind of teased last week.
Yeah, you saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm intrigued."
Yeah. So I haven't looked at this story at all. All I know is the title. So, I'll allow you to do the honors.
Okay, here we go, folks. You know me. I like to give a little, usually American take on the titles. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that.
Try to a different accent this week.
Okay, yeah, I should.
Offend another portion of people. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Indian.
Oh no. No. Okay, I'll just go for it. I'm never gonna do an Indian accent on this show, guys. So that would cause too much trouble.
It really would, yeah.
I don't know.
Can you do any accents that aren't English or American?
Sometimes I've been known to slip into an old Irish lady. But
Wait, I beg your pardon. That was not the way to word that at all.
I'm not sure if I can
here.
do that today. Like, that's the one I want to do in my head, but I don't know if I could just go into it.
Stop yourself.
No,
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Bradley likes to slip into an old Irish lady. So,
at some point, I'll get around to reading this title for you.
yeah. Do whatever you want.
I
I'll
don't
sit back
know.
and enjoy.
I don't know.
I've got nothing.
I really
left.
don't. Okay,
Terrifying moment. Corpse waves from inside coffin, sparking buried alive fears.
I don't know if that was prepubescent child or just squeaky woman.
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Brilliant. So the video shows mourners attending a funeral in Indonesia before it zooms in on a white coffin with a glass panel that appears to show the body inside moving or waving.
Why?
Oh god, we need to watch a video.
Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna hit play now. Nope, there's a coffin. Oh Christ.
I'm not sure if we're
What do you
watching the same video.
What video are you watching?
It's rather disturbing. I don't think I should say, to be honest. But I don't see a coffin.
No, got. Right, no. What are you watching? I can cut it. It's fine.
It looks like they're burying a baby in the sand.
We are definitely not watching the same video.
I'm on the same article, but I don't know why that video was...
It's the video right at the top.
I saw some people burying a baby in the sand. And that... oh, wait, hold on. I think I know what might have happened. I think the video... Because I had the tab open, I think the videos of different news have just been playing through. Because now it's showing me a plane.
Okay, well, refresh your page.
Yeah. I was like, okay, watch the video. Oh, what? That's not... Oh... That's not very nice. Okay, now I see it.
Yeah, it's
Oh wow.
Yeah. It does look like a hand, doesn't it?
Did they? Oh, I wonder if they opened it up. How else are they gonna know?
Maybe there's like I don't know, like a bird or something got in there somehow. I mean the animal. I don't mean the derogatory term for females.
No.
That just makes me a bloody Martin from Friday Night Dinner.
How'd a female get in there?
That was not his accent at all.
It wasn't.
How'd a female get in there? We should probably actually just talk about this news topic now.
Yes. So one person wrote, "Yes, he waved. Maybe he's still alive and trying to dig his way out."
I can't see where you're at.
I think I skipped quite far down.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yikes.
But another theory is that maybe it's a mouse.
Maybe it's a mouse.
Yeah. Toink Khan said that. Don't know if I pronounced your name correctly.
Twink Khan, yeah. Despite the various claims, it's likely that the corpse was moving due to decomposition. But, I mean... How long did they wait to bury it?
Yeah, I mean...
Do corpses start decomposing that quickly?
I I'm not familiar with that area of expertise. I don't think so. Do they?
I don't know. Especially if they're in a coffin, surely it takes a while because you haven't got as much I don't know, just air and stuff getting to them. I don't know.
Scrolling further down, it says that researchers at an Australian facility carried out experiments and they filmed to see how dead bodies move.
Brilliant. And they filmed them at 30-minute intervals and reveals that their arms were significantly moving. That sounds creepy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Speaking to ABC News.
I've seen another...
Oh, go on.
No, I was going to say, I've seen another topic here. Heinz creates slowest puzzle on Earth with all 570 pieces of the same red colour. It's a ketchup puzzle.
God.
Sorry, that wasn't remotely interesting. Go on.
Speaking to ABC News, Alison Wilson, a researcher involved with the project, said, "What we found was that the arms were significantly moving, so that the arms started off down beside the body and ended up out to the side. So they moved kind of outwards."
I wouldn't call that significant.
I don't. I mean, if any part of me is moving after I'm dead, I'd be well. Yeesh.
Well, you'd be dead.
Well, yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have much of a reaction to it, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, according to researchers, the movements aren't subtle at all.
Wow. This article has really changed direction. It's gone from weird story to scientific report.
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning stuff here.
Yeah, wow.
So apparently the movements is caused to build up of gas in the body in the early to mid stages of decomposition.
Oh, I mean,
I thought this was going to be some like tragic story of like he was thought to be dead, but he wasn't, and then he was trying to get out. Wow.
This might be the first news story we've shared that is actually somewhat educational.
Yeah. This is the question. Can you open coffins from the inside?
I've not been in one to find out.
No. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to be.
No?
Once or twice, yeah.
Maybe we'll do that on the show one day. I'll get inside a coffin and see if I can get back out.
Do you know how expensive coffins are?
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of budget on the show.
We might one day. If you want to see me get inside a coffin,
maybe.
Then yeah, let's help. Let's make this blow up, and then I'll get in a coffin. That's a selling point.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think that just about wraps up that story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, quite nicely indeed. So, with that, I guess that's pretty much it for the podcast this week. As always, thank you all so much for listening. And yeah, as always, be sure to use our hashtag Daily Weekly Podcast. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the podcast. And just let us know what you thought. Let us know your opinions on Justice League, your favorite characters, and would you get in a coffin? That's the conversation. That's the conversation topic this week, guys. Keep it going, and we'll see you next week. Yeah. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye. Adios.